Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of GEMCash Alive. And the reason for these episodes that we're doing for the teams all throughout the world is to make GEMCash come alive to you. Not just something on the internet, not just some internet make-believe money, but we want to show the technologies that we've developed in the last 3 years, and we also want to show the people behind the technologies. This is our director, one of our partners, and a team member, Greg Ocon. Welcome, Greg.
Hi guys, my name is Greg.
So Greg is part of a 7-group tight team that we have internally that are both investors, partners in our project. They're also directors on our board, and they're also team members. So Greg heads a company, a large company of software programmers out of Poland. And this is his offices here in Miami. And we're shooting from his offices, and in the future we'll be shooting in factories where we make the Gem Vault and GEMCash, and we'll also be visiting countries and ministers and different continental supervisors and different country managers, so you'll all get to be in Greg's position. It's not a question and answer for Greg. I'm not interviewing Greg. I'm just bringing Greg and our other directors to live, so you can see that this is a live project with serious people all participating to make this happen worldwide. Okay, so this episode we're going to focus in on our gem card. Okay, so I'm going to show you the gem card right now. We keep all our vault and cards here, our early versions. Here's the gem card, right? So the gem card is basically a debit card. The back of it is a full debit card, right? It has a solar panel to charge it, so it can be used in the bush. You don't have to recharge it for years. There's a battery that gets recharged, okay? And it's also a full computer. It's a computer. This is a full high-resolution screen that shows 3 colors. This is a keypad to enter the amount of GEMCash that you're sending or receiving or that you have stored. And it works as a Visa and MasterCard. This is an early prototype that we're using to test the circuitry and the software. And other than the blockchain, which my brother and his team are doing, his name is Andre, in New York, Greg and his team are going to be working on the operating system for the gem card. They're also working on our app, which we're going to have an episode just to cover the app, okay? But I want to give you guys a little history and show you that this is not just a MasterCard or a Visa the way you think of it. I want to show you how I could come up with the idea that we can fit an entire computer, a keyboard, a monitor, a solar charger, and all the different technologies that you're going to see in a presentation coming up in a few minutes, okay, inside here. So let me show you a little history. So in 1986, I got my first cell phone, and it was this big. It was this big and this thick, and you needed 2 people to carry it, to put it in the trunk of the car. 2 years later, I sold that car, and I was able, and that cell phone cost me $5,000, and it was $2 a minute to make a call, whether you were making a call and receiving a call. And you can only make a call inside New York City. Okay? The next cell phone that I got was a bag about this size with a handle. And I had that for a year, and then I left it at McDonald's when I went to have a hamburger. And that cost me $3,800, that bag, and I left it there. When the insurance paid me, I went to look to see what new cell phones there were, and I bought this for $3,400. Now you could see the size of it. You can't see the weight, but it's heavy, mostly because of battery. Okay, and this could store 99 numbers. It was crazy. My last one could store 30 numbers. This could store 99 numbers, but no names. So you had to have a little piece of paper telling you which ones were the 99. But I said to myself, I'll never have 99 people to call. Maybe 20, maybe 30, but 99? This was great, right? So then, 5 years ago, when I was in Africa, I had my smartphone, which was a little smaller than this, but a Samsung, but I went and I bought this, right? Look at how small the cell phones were getting. Before smartphones, we wanted them smaller because all we needed was a little screen and a keypad. So I even had one that was smaller than this here in the United States, about this size. But look, we went from something in the car for $5,000 to something that you can carry around with you for $3,000. I think I paid $40 for this in Africa 5 years ago. Okay, but this is using, most of this is battery, and this is screen and things. So I thought if we can go from $5,000 in my car, this to this, maybe we could put a computer, a keyboard, a monitor, and a cell phone inside of a card, right? And the engineers 3 years ago told me, no good, it's impossible. There isn't that kind of monitor or anything, but here it is today. And it's very thin, and we're going to show you inside of it soon, okay? So we want to go, you're going to watch a presentation now, which talks about all the technologies. Then we're going to come back, and we're going to see inside the GEM card after you see this presentation, okay? And then I'm going to answer your questions. Thank you. Here's the GEM card presentation for you. Let's go through the features. We have a high definition screen, and this screen gets brighter if the sun is brighter outside. 12-button input. This is where you put in the amount of GEMCash you're going to send. Remember, this just sends, receives, and stores GEMCash. It's going to be part of all major credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, we may even go Discover. I put a little loop here that we sell an additional chain with a leather wallet that you can keep your card and your additional removable memory chips. This is not a dumb card by any means. It's a full computer with a CPU inside, very powerful, a screen, keyboard. It's an entire computer in a card. We're looking at the back of the card. We have our debit card feature. Here's the removable memory, which you can keep $1 or $1 million, and you can keep it at home so in case you lose your card. Everybody talks about that. Here's the debit card feature. Here are the numbers that you can give at the store if they don't have Wave Pay, but we do have Wave Pay technology. Here's the solar charger. It recharges the battery up to 5 years, so you don't have to plug this in ever, and you could be in the bush and use it. Wave Pay, again, I just spoke about it. You just tap the card up against all the modern machines and ATMs. But in case they don't have that, you can always give them the number because you can't slide this card or insert it. Again, it's going to last 5 years because this ink doesn't come off very easily like regular debit cards, and the battery will last that long. Okay, those are the main features of the card. We'll go back to our presentation so you can see inside. Okay, so you've seen the presentation, and you've seen all the technology and everything. Now we're going to go inside the GEM card. But before we go inside the GEM card, I want to show you this. And I want to tell you that this has nothing to do with a GEM card. Let me tell you the technology that's here. There's 1950s technology. It's called plastic. You see? Go around your house. 1950s technology. That's what it is. If you try to take this apart, there's nothing inside. It's plastic with more plastic, okay? Then in the 1970s, they put this technology. It's called a magnetic strip. Some of you may remember. This is a technology, a magnetic strip to keep sound, and here's a magnetic strip. And all that magnetic strip does is exactly what this does, except it holds 20 numbers. The numbers here on the face, plus an additional 4 digits, okay? So that's all this does. And then about 5-6 years ago, they came out with NFC. That's that little chip. And all that chip does is hold these numbers on that chip with your name. That's it. Your name, these numbers on that chip. So you have 1950s technology, 1970s technology, and the year 2000 technology with this NFC. This is nothing compared to the card that you just witnessed on that presentation and you're going to see right now. So let's take a close look at the GEM card. Okay, let's look inside the GEM card. So here we have the GEM card, and we left this one. This is a prototype unit, so we left it open so you guys can see inside. Okay, so first, here's a high resolution screen, and what happens with this screen is as the sun gets brighter, The screen gets brighter. There are 10 digits to enter in the amount of GEMCash you wish to send. And then there's a scroll button here. This allows you to go through the mode. One is to look at your balance inside. The next mode is to send GEMCash. The next mode is to receive GEMCash. And the next mode is to upload GEMCash. So there are 4 modes that you go through with this button. And then this button is to confirm an action. You want to send, you want to say yes. Okay, so that's the confirmation, scroll, high resolution screen, and keypad, a full computer inside here. And then this computer doesn't need to be plugged into the wall because we have a solar cell that charges the battery inside, so we never have to worry about charging. Remember, 2 billion people in the world do not have access to steady electricity. Okay, so let's go inside the GEM card. Okay, so we left the GEM card unsealed so you can see inside. Here's the solar panel. Here's the removable chip. Here's the microprocessor. And all the functions are in here. This is a computer. This is a cell phone. And this is even a storage device. Okay, all in one. And here's the storage. So I'll remove the little chip. My hand is getting in the way. Okay, there's the little removable chip. And you guys are worried about losing your GEM card. Well, look, you can keep $10 million at home. You can keep $1 million at your friend's house because you don't trust them with $10 million. Or you can keep $100 with you to take out to dinner. You see? So you don't have to worry about losing. And look how tiny this is to get through customs, right? You see that? You see that, Chad? To get through customs, Chad. Chad's worried about compliance. All right? So then you can put it back inside your GEM card and boom. Your GEM card goes from being worth $30 to being worth $0 or being worth $1 million. All right, so you can see that this is not this. There's only plastic here. And this little bullshit technology from 15 years ago, okay? Ours is a full computer with a screen, with a keyboard, with a solar charger, everything. I bring to you the GEM card. And of course, you guys will have an even special one, okay? Now let's do this experiment. The camera will go down. And I'm going to show you the thickness of this. No, you can't slide it, but I'm going to show you how thin this is. It's only 3 credit cards of thickness. You see that? And we're making it even smaller. Okay, we're going to reduce another little bit off of there. All right? Very good then. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. This is the GEM card, and we'll go back to our questions and answers now. Let's go. Okay, we're going to do our questions and answers. This show is being brought by you by Hydrogen Nano Bubble Water, imported in from South Korea. This is the only thing you're ever going to need in terms of vitamins and minerals. I love this thing, and my Coco has it right now, and I'm getting addicted to it. It's delicious. Okay. Let me get to your questions. I want to thank everybody who sent in questions. I want to ask the rest of you what's going on. Send in questions. Participate. You're never going to learn unless you get things wrong and you ask. Please, I understand that not all of you are participating as much as you should. Put on my glasses. Okay, our first question comes from Godfrey, our Zimbabwe manager. Okay, and he asks, you mentioned your GEM card's thickness is the size of 3 regular ATM cards, and I just showed you guys that, okay? He goes, have you managed to test out if this will fit at the ATM machine? It might be a little too thick. Okay, so it won't fit at the ATM machine that you're used to, but there are ATM machines coming out that use WavePay technology, and we have that technology. It transmits your name and your number to the ATM machine, so it would work there. And also, you're forgetting that behind an ATM machine, 90% of the times, there's a bank. Walk into the bank, hand them your GEM card, and every bank and every store still can type in your numbers and give you money. So you're forgetting that behind the ATM machine, there's a bank. Walk into the bank. So that will work in the event that they don't have WavePay technology, which we have in there that you saw in the presentation. Okay, our second question. It comes from Alcides, our Central American supervisor. Alcides asks, what would it be the cost benefits of using GEM card without international logos like Visa or MasterCard? Okay. The cost benefit is this. If you're going to use the GEM card and not exchange for local currency, but use the GEM card to pay with GEM card or just trade with somebody cash for regular cash, you don't incur the fees that MasterCard, Visa, and the banks we're going to be involved with charge us. So that's the cost savings. Obviously, eventually you won't need Visa or MasterCard, but at first you'll need Visa and MasterCard because that's how you access quickly and immediately cash at a bank or pay for dinner or buy something at a store, okay? But eventually stores and even banks, like in Brazil, will accept digital currency, and we hope to be one of the digital currencies they accept. And eventually, you won't need to go to a bank. You just go to the store and you buy what you need with the digital currency, our digital currency. Or you go to somebody who also has one of our cards or one of our apps, and you get from them the service or the product that they're offering you with the GEMCash. So you can bypass the bank, the government, all the 3 to 4 different rails that are behind Visa and MasterCard and not have to incur those fees. Okay, moving on to the next question. The question is from Frank. Frank is a U.S. regional manager here in the United States. Frank asks, how long before ATMs and other such card accepting devices will have the touch screen capability needed for GEMCard? So the touch screen capability he's talking about is called WavePay. Now it's spreading all over the world because Apple has taken on WavePay. Samsung has taken on WavePay. They have their own names for it, but it's the same thing. And GEMCard has the WavePay. That's spreading everywhere. And Frank, if you go to Walgreens or Home Depot or any major store, Starbucks, they already all accept WavePay. And again, even if they don't, you can hand them your GEM card, they look at the number, and they type the number in on their system. And you don't need WavePay, you don't need swipe, you don't need insert, okay? But it's spreading all over the place. But remember, you can always type in the number there. You say, type in my number, and they'll do it. Okay, next question. Another question from Godfrey, our Zimbabwe manager. With regular bank ATM cards, if activities on your card begin and pop up in different countries, the bank will alert you or even block it temporarily because of security purpose until you verify that it's you, the owner, making the transaction. Would this kind of security be available for the GEM card? Look, when you're using the GEM card at a bank or at an ATM, you're going back to the old world. You're not in the new world of digital currency. You're back in the old world of fiat money. It's called fiat money. And when you're in that old world, all the securities that were available for that old world, despite being very poor security, is going to be available for your GEM card. Exactly the same. Next question. From Bill, our China supervisor. The GEM card has the function arrow of moving GEMCash to US dollars and euros. And GEMCash, how do you move to other major currencies or local currencies in the GEM card process? So that doesn't happen on the GEM card. What happens on the GEM card is you receive the GEMCash or you send GEMCash up to your wallet that's on your app. Those exchanges happen in the app, but you're not going to be able to exchange to all major currencies of the world. You're going to be locked into either euros or dollars, depending on what you do. Now, what you can do on your own is tie into other exchanges that give you access to other currencies. The exchanges we're going to be tied into, you'll be able to trade GEMCash. You take it from your card to your wallet in the cloud, which will show on your app, on your GEMNet app. And then you do the exchange there, and that's how you get access to US dollars from the exchanges to trading GEMCash. The other way is to go to a bank or an ATM and exchange it there. But then you're doing a GEMCash and GEM card to the merchant machine or the ATM. And the other way he's talking about, which is exchanging for world currencies, it's only going to be 2 world currencies, the US and euros. The exchanges don't deal with yen and all those other things. Those other kinds of currencies, you're going to trade locally from your card to local agents that will be spread all over these countries. And these people will learn how to make money with GEMCash and make this service available to you. Okay, moving right along. I'm going to skip Bill's second question because it's similar to the first one. Vital, our England manager, Vital, I believe I pronounced your name correctly. Can cash get lost due to the technical errors or other reasons? If so, how can the cash or your wallet be retrieved if it gets lost? This is a good question. She went on to say, how does GemTrust system relate to banking? Okay, two questions here. I'll answer them quickly. So there could be technical problems, but our coin is called a color coin. So one of the options you have is to label that color coin with us. Now, there's ways to keep that color coin, our coin, GEMCash, from being used by somebody who's ripped it off. There's some technical ways to recover the coin, but we're going to try to figure out if we should do that or not, because there's some social reasons why you may not want to recover all the coins, and I'll explain that in an episode where we talk about GEMCash specifically. Today we're talking about GEMCard. Let me get to her other question. Her other question relates to how does the GemTrust system relate to the banking system? We don't. We're against the banking system. The banking system only exists because you have to have a place to keep your money. Otherwise, you'd have to carry your money with you or keep it at home, and it's not safe. With our insured Gem wallets, you can keep $1 million or $10 million in the cloud or in your house in a place that you feel secure, because your money is stored on a tiny little chip like that. It's not a pile of cash like that. I don't know if any of you have seen African money, but to go to dinner in most African countries, you have to carry that much money. Imagine if you were keeping all your assets at home. You need bags and bags and bags of money. That would be difficult to hide and difficult to secure. But when it's on a little chip like that, and you can have $1 million on a little chip like that, now you can store it at home. You no longer need the bank. That's all the bank is there for. All Visa is there for is because somebody needs to talk between the store, their bank, your bank, and your money. If you can talk directly to the store, the restaurant, you don't need the Visa, you don't need the bank, you don't need the government, you don't need any of those systems in the middle charging you money. So we're completely opposite of the banking system. Okay, here's a question from Michael Okon, our Poland manager, who's actually brother of Greg Okon. Okay, so hello, Michael. So should we and how to engage more people from our geographic regions to the Gem? So I'm going to answer this question privately here, Michael, because we're just dealing with the Gem card today. Okay, so I will answer your question. Our friend Vitor, our Portugal manager, he asks, I have $1,000 in my e-wallet in the app, so he understands. Does anyone else know except me how much I have? How can I transfer into the Gem card? So these are two questions, and one is about the app and about the e-wallet, which we're going to talk to about on another episode. The other one is how to transfer to his card. That question I'll answer right now. So basically on the app, and I'm doing not just an episode, I'm also doing a PowerPoint video to show you how you download GEMCash from the app to the card. So you'll see how that works. And it's very simple. You know, the app already knows what your card is, because your Gem card is just another wallet. So you're going to have on our system at least 3 wallets. One wallet that you use for your debit purchases using GEMCash. One wallet, which is another name for account. One account that you use for your debit purchases. One account that you store your GEMCash. And another account, which is your card. Your card is just another account on our network, okay? So, and those accounts are called e-wallets. And when they're GEMTrust e-wallets, they're called Gem wallets, okay? So I think I've answered your question. Okay, so the question was from Victor about transferring GEMCash between Gem cards. So the way you would do that is our Gem card uses Bluetooth technology. So if the person's standing close to you, you would just bump cards and you could transfer GEMCash from your card to their card. Now that person, could be a store, could be a car dealership, or could be a bank. Okay, and that person could be standing right there or in another part of the planet, and you can send them GEMCash. Okay, and that's all free of charge. Once the card is purchased, It's all free from there. And half our cards are given away for free. Okay, I'm going to do one last question. Let me pick a question here. From Ivory Coast, from Nana. Nana, our manager in the Ivory Coast. His question is, if Gem card can be used to spend GEMCash held inside, how does the Gem wallet transfer GEMCash inside the Gem card? So I'm going to deal with that question when we talk about the wallets, because I already dealt with that. Okay, so I'll go on to one more question from Amici. He's our regional coordinator. He's also our international lawyer for Gem Trust. So Amici's question is, okay, his question was about the type of cell phone service if it's weak in one country to another. So let me talk about that as we close out. Gem card was designed using a part of the wavelength of cell phones that all cell phone companies use since the 1980s. In the 1980s, cell phone companies realized that they need to charge each other for their other clients to use. So if you arrive in another country, or you're in the same country in Africa and you're using Orange instead of Digicel, you can still use Digicel if you're willing to pay Orange to pay Digicel to use their network. So that's called a handshake. So one cell phone company chip talks to another cell phone company's chip free of charge. They use a bandwidth that can only send data, and only a small amount of data. So you can't make voice call, you can't send text message, you can't get on the internet, you can't do any of those things. But if all you need to do is send a small amount of data via the cell phone networks, you can do that internationally for free. And that's what we do. So it doesn't matter if the signal's weak, we just bounce onto the next network and the next network and the next network. And it doesn't matter which network, because they all use the same small wave band of information that's been used since the 1980s, okay? So there's never a problem with weakness or not belonging to one service or another service. There's never those problems, all right? And that was figured out by my brother, and it was implemented by me inside this amazing Gem card. Okay, so we've dealt with all your questions. I want to thank you for participating in this program. I want to thank Greg Ocon for coming out. And if you have some questions for Greg, Greg runs our software. All the app work and all the operating system work for the Gem card is being done by Greg's company out of Poland. They're called Source Corp. So if you have questions for him, send me the questions via our forum in the questions section. And the final thing I want to say to all of you is, please participate. Please take part in what we're doing, because this is really important. But some of you will not get it, and I understand that. And some of you will have to get voted off, and some of you will just drop off because you're confused or you're worried and you don't understand how you're going to get paid or how this is going to help your life. But for those of you who get it, tell your friends. We need people in major countries, in Europe, in South America, in Central America. I sent you the preferences, but they need to live there. They need to speak the language. They need to know groups of people. They don't need to be wealthy, but we need to get them involved. So we're going to close out the next 10 days trying to get as many team members as we can. So please help out, and please answer your emails so I know you're reading them and getting them. And keep up with what we're doing so you can remain as part of this revolution and make a lot of money for yourself and your family. Okay, so signing off, this was GEMCash Alive, our second episode. Thank you so much from me and Coco and Greg Ocon in Miami. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.